Man, you have to send up a major congratulations up to primetime Deion Sanders, the head coach of the Colorado Buffaloes, who pulled off a major upset yesterday on the road at TCU against the Horned Frogs, who are ranked number 17 in the country. Let's keep in mind TCU played in the national championship game just a season ago. Obviously, I know their quarterback, Max Duggan, went off to the league. But be clear, TCU is still a really good team with a lot of great athletes, with a really good coach. Obviously, Colorado has had major overhaul. I think Primetime brought in 85 new players. Colorado only won one game last season. Well, they've already won one this year. It's their first game of the year as they go 1-0 on the season with a 45-42 win. What a game. Let me just start there. What a freaking game. Can I be honest with you guys about a couple things? Number one, people want to hear my opinions on sports, not news, but just my opinions. So I decided to create a new channel for that. We got a new Facebook and a new YouTube. It's going to be at Itsmrtaliaferro. So we shortened the name on that bad boy. People want to hear about me and throughout the college football season. They want to hear about me throughout the NFL season. I do not cover college football or NFL. I just want to make that clear, but I am a fan. I'm always watching. Obviously, I got to do something outside of watching basketball and listening to music. So I just created a new channel. If you're into this type of commentary and this type of content, make sure you follow me on Itsmrtaliaferro, YouTube and Facebook. They're already both set up. And it'll just be something that we try to do at least once a week. I'm a Tennessee Volunteer. Last year, my Vols got back into contention. We had a phenomenal season behind Hendon Hooker and obviously Coach Whipple, who did a fantastic job last year, and I think he's going to do a great job this year. We'll have weeks to talk about my Tennessee Vols. We rolled past Virginia. I don't need to talk about them much this week. So I wanted to dedicate this video to Primetime and his Colorado Buffaloes, who did pull off an incredible upset. And I have a lot of opinions, all right? So I have been watching Colorado on YouTube all summer. I haven't really told many people about it. My wife knows about it because she's always like, okay, what the heck are you watching in here? It's loud. I've been watching them vlog. But again, I don't cover football. I want to make myself clear. I only covered Tennessee football for real 1 year. I'm talking about, but for real though. Like, was at the practices in the summer, was obviously at all the games, all that stuff. I did that 1 year when I was in college. It was a handful because I was in college. Though, despite going to the practices with Tennessee, I've never really seen anything the way Deion Sanders and Colorado decided to give it up this summer. Man, if you follow his son's vlogs, I think he got two boys that do it, Bucky and Darius, if I'm not mistaken. Please don't get mad at me with the names. They do a phenomenal job. And I mean, Deion has pretty much ripped the cover off of what most college football programs like to hide with their program. He's just pretty much pulled it back. You can see everything. If you want to come to a place where them cameras are going to be in your face, come to Colorado. That's been Deion's thing from the jump since he made the transition over from Jackson State, which he got a lot of pushback for. And I'm not mad at the pushback that Deion got. He knows why he got that pushback. He sold people dreams on HBCUs being the prime destinations for athletes, and then he dipped to go to somewhere else where he felt like he could get better opportunity for himself, his coaches, and his players. I get it, not mad at it, still rooting for the brother, but he knows why he's gotten some vitriol in his direction. So Deion goes to Colorado. They vlog every freaking thing. Because I've never seen somebody rip the cover back like Deion has, I'm seeing things and I'm having a hard time gauging, what does this mean? When I was at Tennessee, this was when I covered for 1 year. This was under Butch Jones' leadership. And what they did was they split their practices up. One practice will have like 7 or 8 sessions in it, right? And pretty much on the odd number sessions, we could record, we could be out there. On the even number sessions, anybody in media, you couldn't record. And sometimes you couldn't even see what they were doing. And I bring that up for a reason. Deion treated every session like an odd number session. You can see everything, no matter what. A lot of people like, yo, you're giving up your X's and O's. You giving up your game plans. You showing too many of your players' weaknesses. You giving up too much. Deion was like, nah, we gonna be good. What we're promoting here is lights, camera, action. It's prime time, no pun intended. If you come here, you know what you're getting yourself into. This is where the lights are the brightest at. And that has been the thing, I believe, that's put the battery in this program. Deion's brought in thousands of celebrities this summer, former football players, coaches. All that stuff has been on camera. So these dudes know what they're getting into from out the gate. And I've been watching them and watching them and watching them this entire offseason, thinking to myself, are they going to really be good? The spread, I've been looking at the spread since they posted it on all the major gambling sites. I'm not a big gambler, but every now and then I dibble and dabble. The spread's been 20.5 pretty much for the last few weeks. And I've been thinking to myself, man, I believe that's way too high. Off Deion's presence alone, they gonna come ready to play at least in game one. I did not pick them to beat TCU, but I knew they would cover that spread. And watching them not only cover the spread, but pretty much have the lead most of the game against TCU. And the fact that they were able to make plays on defense late in that game, because if you watch the vlogs, anybody that's following the Colorado vlogs, that defense has been probably, those corners have been had. I mean, Deion obviously being a former legend corner, they've been hard on them corners at all those vlogs. Since they put the pads on, them corners have gotten the worst of it. They've gotten criticized and critiqued, and they were not great against TCU, be clear about that. But they definitely made plays when they had to late in the game. I'm going to be honest with you guys. Shedeur Sanders, the quarterback of Colorado, I'm watching him maneuver. He set passing records in that game. I was a little underwhelmed with Shedeur at a lot of the vlogs and a lot of the practices. His leadership to me was a little left to be, a little something more to be desired, if I'm being honest with you, from a leadership. I think a lot of times he kind of just able to kind of lay off the shoulders of his dad from that standpoint. I don't know. I felt like Shedeur, if anybody, was kind of getting things handed to him, if I'm being honest with you. I was concerned about how his game would translate from Jackson State over to Colorado. I already knew what they had in Travis Hunter. For the record, I stayed in the Lawrenceville, Georgia area. So Travis went to Collins Hill. Them kids worked their asses off. I've seen it up close and personal. And then to take it a step further, them kids were some of the last of a generation that used to literally go out to the Krogers, the grocery stores in the area, come to your doorstep begging for you to buy a coupon book to support their football program. This is where Travis Hunter, the best player on Colorado, this is where he went to school at. So when I knew Deion was getting his hands on him, I already knew he was going to be good. I already knew he was going to be great. Now, I do think Deion needs to stop this playing on both sides of the ball. I mean, she's Louise Deion. You already down to 7 toes because you decided to play on both sides of the ball oftentimes in your career. Please do not put Travis through that. He is not going to be able to last playing 145 snaps per game like you had him do against TCU. Hopefully, Deion picks one side of the ball to let this stud of an athlete that's going to be a top 10, top 15 pick in the NFL in a couple years. Please pick one side of the ball and let Travis stay, because I do not want to see this young brother get injured, because he is an exceptional athlete that's going to make a lot of money at the next level with the way he plays the game of football. He's incredible as a wide receiver and a quarterback. I'm not calling this dude Shohei Ohtani, but it's definitely Shohei Ohtani-like for all my baseball fans out there. The fact that you can put this dude at corner and that side is shut down. The fact that you can put this dude at wide receiver and there goes 100 yards is ridiculous. I don't think he should be doing that in college, though. You want to do that in the NFL when you're getting paid top dollar? I don't think it'll mean you'll have a long career, but hey, to each his own. In college, I get it. They got NIL deals. Still, nah. Deion calls that one of his sons. He calls him one of his sons, but nah. Even if that's one of your boys, nah. I'll be honest with you, though. I did not know what I was getting from Shedeur Sanders. I was pleasantly surprised. A lot of quick throws early, but when asked to, he made some throws down the field. The running backs, I mean, look, young Dylan, he fumbled and still stayed with it. They had a big play at the kickoff the second half with that 75-yarder. I ain't gonna lie to you guys. I'm looking at Colorado as they upset TCU, and I think the expectations was to flip this program from 1 to 6 wins to be bowl eligible. What's stopping them from going 8 to 9 wins? Now, I don't want to get too gassed by the one game against TCU, because it feels like Deion put everything into week 1 of the season. Like they have been talking about TCU for a long time. I got to see them come out and prove it the next week. And then, because they got Nebraska next week, if I'm not mistaken. Obviously, Nebraska's got Matt Rule there as head coach again. So we'll see how they're able to perform when you're not going against a ranked school. But hey, I'm looking at this schedule. Obviously, they got their hands full in a couple weeks' time. Back-to-back weeks, they got 15 Oregon and number 6 USC. That's just a hell of a schedule. I mean, that's just going to be hell to get through that. Oh, and if they're able to get through that 1-1, that would be great. If not, they go 0-2. That's a hell. That might be asking a little too much of Colorado. Let's be clear. They got some firepower on offense. In this game alone, they had 4 receivers go over 100 yards. Like I said to you guys earlier, Shador went over 500 yards, broke records in that game. What we're learning, because it was very difficult to really know what all of Deion's transfers meant, because it was so much overhaul. You're bringing in guys from the HBCU level over to Power 5, all the transfers. It was a lot to really know what you would be getting from Deion. What we're learning, though, is just like him and his people that kind of been preaching, his team have been preaching this offseason, they got weapons on offense. They can compete in the Pac-12. Like, they can compete on offense. I don't think they're anywhere close to the level that you need to be on defense. They are not close to what you're going to need on defense. And look, if TCU was able to put up 42, USC's got a guy. They got a really good guy. All right, this dude's about to make a lot of money in about a year's time here at the next level. This Heisman winning dude by the name of Caleb Williams, he'll put up 84. If TCU put up 42, he'll double that. So be clear. I don't think TCU, their offense is anywhere close to what Oregon or USC can do this year. Maybe last year with Max, not this year around. So, I mean, I don't think Colorado should be looking at conference championship this year. But if they are able to get to 8, 9 wins versus the 5 or 6 that I thought would have been great, I mean, Deion has done a damn good job and silenced a lot of doubters. And critics. I'm rolling with Deion. I understand the move from the HBCU. I just still think there's a lot to commend this dude on. I'll support any man out there, especially a man that's a black man that's out there literally getting in the minds of young people and making it more than just football. I'll be honest with you, some of the stuff with Deion, putting religion in football, it turns me off a little bit. But overall, I believe Deion's on the right side of history with our young black men, and we need him. All right, obviously, I understand he's a car salesman at the end of the day as a head coach in college football. They all are. But I think he's one of the better car salesmen that actually can instill something in a young black man. Clearly, he did enough as they went to TCU and won game 1 of the season.